Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Today I'm going to show you guys how to install a retrofit heads-up display for your BMW. We're going to be working on my E90 today. That's the part number. This can be retrofitted on all the newer generation cars, I believe from 2005 and newer, as long as it's running CANbus. I bought this online and it came from overseas. I'm going to put a link in the description to where I bought this. Let's get it unboxed now. Comes with a little microfiber towel, kind of nice touch. Here's the device itself. As you can see, it says BMW right on it. Pretty cool. It's going to sit on your dash like that, and then you're going to flip this up. Just sits like that, and you look through it. User manual, some hardware, zip ties, that's it. Box is empty now. Here's a module that's going to go on your car and communicate. So it truly integrates to your car. Jumps right on the CANbus. Pretty cool. You have some various connectors, power. It's mostly plug and play from the looks of it. I believe this goes here. Yeah. OEM stuff right there. To attach to the dash. So you gotta even comes with a little level to make sure that you've leveled it out. And I'm sure all this stuff is referenced in the installation manual, wiretaps. Even has some wipes to help you clean up your dash, pretty nice touch. So this is basically going to sit on your dash, and I believe this is optional, but you can place this here. If you just want to have it as a place to store things. If you don't plan on folding that down, I'm not sure. I think maybe it goes over this. Let's get this removed. Okay, so that's the hardware. Let's take a look at the installation manual to see what's going to be involved. So it will show you this type of information: the torque in Newton meters, power in kilowatts, cruise control speed, fuel warning, black ice warning, sea level, warning against hazardous areas, speed limit, car speed, distance until the next maneuver, route and turning instructions, lane assist. So you can basically connect to your phone and get navigation instructions right on there. Estimated time of arrival, distance to destination, traffic delays, connection to your smartphone indicator, connection to live services. Pretty cool. This whole kit was $300 and something. I believe if you buy it locally right from the US, it's going to be more like $4 something. But so you got your settings, brightness, switching on off the, I don't know if you can show this in horsepower and torque, to be honest with you. Next up, you want to download the BMW heads-up display app. So you just type in BMW head-up screen right here. That's the app you're going to download to be able to make it work. We'll open that now. and it has you agree to all this. I'm gonna disable that. I just want to show you guys that. Now we have settings. You can change from kilometers to miles per hour, etc. It should auto download off the CANbus, but anyway, this is the app that makes it all work. We will go ahead and start the installation procedure now. I downloaded the installation instructions. It's supposed to take approximately 1 hour. Let's get started. The first step is going to be to remove this trim down here and the side panel here so we can route the power cord up above the dash. So let's get started with that. As you had seen, I used a plastic trim removal tool to pop that out. There's 3 T20s down here. Let that drop down. Just hanging down is fine. We just need room to be able to pass the cable up. Now we're going to go over to the passenger side. Now we're at the passenger side. That panel's lowered down. Now we're going to just focus in on the junction box where we're going to be doing our work. We'll be working with these 2 connectors here. So one of the first steps is going to be to get the power cord over to the driver's side from the passenger side. So I'm looking in that area there to see if there's an easy way to pass it over. So easy enough, I just use a fly swatter, pass that over from the driver's side. Took the end off of it, so I got this thing waiting here. I'm going to tape up the power cord to that, and then I'll show you where I passed it over from. Let's go look from the driver's side. You can see that right there. Easy enough. If you're going to be touching the connectors to the junction box, always disconnect your battery. There's no ifs, ands, or buts around it. You can fry the actual junction box. So let's take these out and figure out what wires we need to tap into. Now, to get access to the connector that we have to tap into, it's at the back of the junction box. We're going to need to slide that forward. So I'm going to remove this trim here to give us access. It's got a couple connectors on there like that. I haven't removed the glove box because it looks like we don't need to get access to the back of the junction box. Alright, so there's 2 T20 screws on the sides here. Now we'll try to slide this out. There's a couple tabs you got to depress up at the top. Right here and here. And the reason we did that is so we can get this electrical connector off on the back here. There. We have to work with this harness here. This is where our power taps in. Alright, so on this connector here, I counted all the way back to pin 13, which is where you're to connect this piece here, the positive. So using the supplied tap connector, we're going to go on the brown red pin right here, pin 13 on this connector, which goes to the back of the junction box normally. So we'll bring the supplied tap connector over. We have a good connection there. Next, we're supposed to find the ground junction and tap this into it, the black wire. It says to peel back the carpet to find that. So for this black wire, pull the carpet back. If you look down in there, you'll be able to see the ground block right there. We need to find a thin brown wire and use the tap connector on that. It's going to be kind of hard to show on camera, but I'll do my best. Okay, so that takes care of power. We're tapped in. We can just tuck that away. I'll get this all put back into position and we'll come back. Now we're focused in on this blue connector here, so we can tap into the CANbus controller area network. You want to remove this harness. Just peel that back and then try to slide it out. Like so. Now, pin 1 on here has to come out. So you're supposed to get this little connector here. So, using this pick tool here, you're going to press right here. Once you've done that, you should be able to slide this right out. You may have to do it again right here on its way out. Like so. So when you take that out, bring it this way, get yourself some slack, and we'll set it up on pin 1 of this connector here, which is going to go like this. Locked in. Pin 2, right beside it, goes to pin 2 of that connector. Same story. We're going to push here. Relieve it on its way out. Bring it over. And insert it. Now we can press here. Now from this harness here, that plugs in here. And these pins go back into that connector. So we basically hopped on the CANbus. We've intercepted the CANbus. There would be a loop problem, but we have our module, which is going to logically take a place on the CANbus and become one with the car. So this is proper OEM integration. Can't get any better than that. Just as an FYI, anything twisted pair is considered a CANbus connection. So we're going to take the blue and red and put it back to pin 1. I'll just start with the red because it'll be easier, just like how we took it out. Clicks right in. Same story here, blue, red. You want to hear that click. Well, we'll reinsert into here. And you'll hear a click. And there we go. I'm going to put the junction box back into place. And then we'll start cleaning up. We'll reconnect our connectors here. Now time to connect the CAN controller. Just like OEM. Gotta find a place to mount that now. Up and out of the way. So So I'm happy with that. I just placed it on top of the junction box. It's optional, but you could zip tie that. I think I may just put one zip tie through it just to avoid any vibrations. Alright, so next up, the heads-up display unit has to be mounted on your dash. And they give you these little pegs to make it sit level. You can screw these in. You have different pitches. This one's thicker, this one's thinner. From what I could tell on my car, the thinner one will probably fill the gap so it sits level. So I'm gonna try that first. We'll pop these out. And we'll use these screws here. And then we'll put these little red stickies down on your dash. I feel like this one's proper. I'll try it and I'll let you guys know. This one's labeled RH1, this one's labeled LH1, maybe for left hand. So we're gonna go over to the car now, lay it on the dash and see what it looks like. They supply the following to really thoroughly clean your dash. So I'm gonna use that to wipe down the dash now. So we'll lay this on top of the dash now. That feels pretty good. We're gonna get our level. Seems strange, but that's level. Kind of doesn't look like it, but you know, you gotta trust that. They include that for a reason. So as you can see, that's level now. And that back peg isn't sitting that flush as the front pegs are. With the supplied adhesive, the front pegs are in good shape. That back peg has a gap to it. I'm going to try the other screw-on piece to see if it makes a difference. Alright, so I got it in a pretty good position now. That back peg is sitting pretty flush with the dash. And the adhesive can hold it down no problem. So I just rotated that. That's that. If you look at the labeling of that, it's going to say LH1. So you just got to try different combos of the included pegs and rotate them around until it fits flush. So, and they'll be an ideal position for this. So let's go take a look at that from outside. There it is sitting on the dash. And how it'll look when you see it from outside. So I'm going to flip the screen up and see if that looks proper. Here's the view from the passenger side. So ideally I want this as low as possible so that the screen will be, if I don't want the screen up, I can fold it away and it's like it's not there. So the lower you can get it, the better, in my opinion. So like that, when you're staring at it, this is almost level with the dash. And the pegs are all sitting evenly and nicely. Let's put the level back on. That looks nearly perfect. So I think that's what they want. They want you to put it further down. And you got to watch your left and right. When you're sitting in your natural driving position, make sure that it's going to be right in front of you. So it looks pretty centered here. I'm going to put a piece of tape across the dash so I know where to place it when I've cleaned things up and I have the adhesive pegs on there. Now that we have the dash cleaned off, I'm going to plug this in. So that's tucked in there. Ideally you want to stretch it as taut and straight as possible. So we'll lay that back on the dash. And we'll guide the cable down. Next up is this piece here. That's to help you cable manage the power cord at the tip of your dash. So this is going to glue down. This is going to stick down and you're going to tuck the wire in between here. It's just going to help guide the wire. And then when you're done, you snap this on top. Like so, and let the wire come straight. It's going to come in from the side and come straight through. So we'll set this up with the adhesive. That's what I'm thinking for final position, right where the dash just starts to curve when you're driving. If you're just looking straight on, if you fold that screen down, you wouldn't even see the heads-up unit. It keeps the amount of exposed wire down, just limited. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm gonna glue that piece down and then I'm going to secure this. But I'll start with that. That looks good. It seems to be pretty level. I'm just looking at the needles here and drawing a line straight up to see if it seems to be centered on the dash itself. We're sitting level. I haven't pushed down on that to secure the adhesive yet. I'm just double checking all angles. We got that snapped down, but as you saw, this came loose. I put that back in position and I pushed it back down. It adhered again, but I'm not sure. I won't disturb it for a while, and I'll see if that's gonna hold. If not, we'll use some silicone or something, just a couple dabs. Let that set, that will definitely hold it. But I don't want to use something that would permanently damage the dash in case I ever want to remove this. But it's level, and it's centered on the gauge cluster. The wire is sticking out from the back and it's cable managed and ran down here. You can't see it. Looks as clean as you could expect considering there's no bezel piece to cover this. Just as an FYI, on the F30s there is a full bezel that you can place right around this, so it kind of looks like it's part of the car. But let's go see how that looks from outside. Here's another look of how it looks just walking up to the car. You can see that cable and that little piece there, but it doesn't look that bad. And as you walk around from the side, I know my windshield's cracked and I do have to replace that. What it looks like inside the car, pretty clean for what it is. That little cable manager definitely helps with the appearance. And when you sit down, that's what you see. If you want to, you take this rubber piece out, fold the screen flat, and it's like it's not there. From my angle, the way I would drive, it's like it wasn't even there. I can completely just ignore it. So that's nice. And then when you want to use it, flip the screen up. I heated up the pads with my heat gun to soften up the glue, and then I held it down, and after that it's on there really sturdy. So I think the supplied adhesive is going to suffice here. Alright, so putting the key in the on position. It's having trouble focusing, so what I'm going to do is tilt this down a little bit and put this cover on. Just so it has a black background, which is optional. You can have it so you look through it, or you can put this cover on. It goes right around the screen, but that's going to help for focusing. I'm not going to use it like that, but it is an option. So that really helped focusing. Now, the Wi-Fi symbol automatically populated because I downloaded this app on my phone. Since I have the heads-up display app already installed on my phone, it automatically does everything for you. So, cruise control, you can turn on demo mode. Let's do all LED segments on so you can see all the options. I'll turn that off. We'll put on demo mode. Pretty cool. I'll turn off demo mode. I'm just happy that the Wi-Fi connection is seamless. You don't have to do anything at all. It's just automatic. Now I'm trying to go to, let's check this out, M Performance Drive Analyzer. It can be found in Google Play Store free of charge. Search M Performance Drive Analyzer. I'm going to do that. So somehow this integrates with that. I'm not sure how. We'll have to figure that out. So I think we have to buy an OBD2 stick for that to function. So that's something that I'm not going to focus on now. I may look into that and see if it's worth buying the stick and seeing how it integrates with the heads-up unit. But let's go over here now and go to navigation. It's saying that you need to search for Garmin HUD. So for now, I just downloaded the APK. I'm getting this license verification message, but so Garmin's whole HUD suite is no longer supported. I read about this and I didn't realize all their navigation apps and whatnot are no longer on iOS or the Android store anymore. So it forces you to close it, but you can just reopen it. And here, hold on, let me close this. You gotta cancel the app altogether and then launch it again. So as long as you set your destination, you'll be fine. You can do what you need to do. Only when you cancel this actual route and try another one will you get that error message. But the thing is, if we were to go to settings here, general, see it supports the BMW heads-up screen and product information. It's all there. It is supported and it understands that you have this hardware and you're entitled to this software. They say, I read that it's supported till at least sometime in 2020 for now. There's an agreement that anybody that has this hardware, if they purchase this device, you will have support. You can use the old existing app. They updated it earlier this year. So at least for the next couple of years, this will work. And going forward, they may come up with another agreement or another support for you. But on my end, I'll have support here and it's going to work for the next couple of years. I'm not upset, and even if it was just for getting the speed on my dash and whatnot, that's fine. I'm okay with it, but I'm not sure about what's going on with the support of the app. You can just download the APK on Google, get the latest version, and it should work. You just may get that error every once in a while, and then you got to exit out the app. Like right here, it says that happened, but I can easily just close the app, open it, and then set your destination, and you can do it. It will work. The one time it will work. It's not really that problematic because I even set that destination and it worked and it connected to the screen. I'm not so sure what the future holds for this and what they're planning on doing as a backup plan. BMW did make this hardware, and they've never released it in the US. It seems like it's going to come out, I keep reading about it coming out early next year for North America, but I bought it straight from Europe. I think there's going to be another workaround. This app is still in the App Store. If you had already downloaded the app before this issue happened, you would have been fine here. So this is still here. It's still on the Google Play Store, and I think they're going to come up with a backup plan for people that have this hardware. I'm sure of it. But for now, all they have is if you've already downloaded the software, had you done it legit, see it goes right there. But had you done it right from the Google Play Store, it's free, it would have worked fine. But now that I've done it as an APK, there's a licensing issue. But that doesn't matter, this is a free piece of software anyway, and I could crack it or patch it if I really cared. But anyway, there's some story behind this, which I'm not sure what the back-end story is. I'm just letting you guys know that this app is functional. You just get that error every once in a while. So I've done a firmware update, and like I was talking about with that Garmin navigation support, what they're doing now to make this hardware useful, I guess, is selling you another module which you can use to integrate onto your car and have the factory navigation talk to the heads-up display. That's something that's in the works as far as I was able to find online. But regardless, like I said, the app is still going to work till 2020, so I'm not too worried. To give you an idea on the type of integration we have here, I can set my brightness so I can lower it, and as you can see, it will actually dim this as I'm dimming here. And as I increase it to full brightness, it's doing that right through the CANbus. Very cool. So I got my navigation loaded up here. I'm going to go for a drive and I'll show you what it looks like. You can see my speed.
0.1 mile, turn right, then immediately turn left.
That's coming from my phone. I'm using the Garmin app. But it says on 100 yards, 90, 80, 70.
Now turn right. Now turn left. In 300 feet, turn left.
You can see the power. It's in Newton meters and kilowatts, but it shows you how much power you're using. Another feature it has is it'll show you the posted speed limit in red. It's got a red circle around it, kind of like my X5. It has the same thing on the heads up. I'm using it to get to a local restaurant here, and it seems to be working pretty good. So here's a day shot, very legible. Alright, so that's going to conclude this video. It shows you how to install the OEM BMW heads-up screen retrofit kit on your E90. Overall, the process is similar regardless of the model car you have. You could probably follow this DIY if you have an F30. Hopefully this kit becomes more readily available in North America, and the support for it picks up with regards to navigation, either by using an alternate app or by offering the other control module, which allows you to integrate to your factory navigation. But either way, I'm very happy with this. If all this was going to do is show me speed on my dash and nothing more, it's very handy and I like it. So hopefully you guys found this video useful and entertaining. I upload regularly, so consider subscribing. Thanks for watching. Good luck.
Wow.